everybody, this is Kat,
And this is Cherry.
and you're listening to Keeping It Creepy with Cherry and Kat.
Ow!
So today's movie is Creep, also called The Creep sometimes,
Oh,
2014.
yeah.
I think it's because it was released one of those indie back of the car in the trunk DVDs,
Yeah.
as one of them. And then when Netflix picked it up, it's the other one. So I don't know which is which.
Oh, okay. Interest. I didn't realize that there was a possible second title. It doesn't need it. It doesn't matter what it's called.
Right. Uh, This movie was on many top recommended list. I've actually
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while before we got around to watching it. So, Cherry, would you like to start with the spoiler-free synopsis?
I will. So, spoiler-free synopsis. This movie only has two characters. We get a videographer who has taken on a client he's never met before. He goes to meet the client, and I would say within less than an hour, things go awry, and just like they just go steadily downhill from there. It's really there's not a lot to say without spoiling the movie. It's almost immediate. So there's that. Yeah.
I think that's good. Absolutely. There we go. All right, so from this point on, it's going to be full of spoilers. We
Mm-hmm.
usually tell you to stop here and watch the movie before you come back and listen to the rest of the podcast, but I'm going to go ahead and spoilers say, don't fucking bother, man.
Yeah,
Like
you're good.
you're it is an extremely short movie. It's only like maybe an hour long, hour 10 minutes.
Might be an hour 15.
Yeah. So it's not going to be a huge drain on your time, but let me tell you something. That hour of your life is wasted. It's a waste of your life. So maybe just listen to the podcast and enjoy that
Yeah.
vicarious.
It's also been on my like to watch list for a long time because I swear every scariest horror best of you need to watch these this list whatever Creep and Creep 2 are always on it, and I was like, oh, we need it's on Tubi, let's do it, let's go. I regrets, or was it Shutter, one of those.
Listen, um, there's only two people in this. It's a videographer who gets hired for a day. They pay him, he's going to be paid $1,000.
Yeah, after he does his whole like I've got can't well no yeah we say we're going to spoil it. I've got cancer. This is why I'm doing this speech. He goes, let's get the business out of the way, and he just hands him some cash. He just hands
Okay.
him cash, and you can tell the videographer just like shoves it in his pocket, and then the creep, because I already don't remember their names, is like great, business out of the way. Let's enjoy our day or whatever weird thing he says.
It's Joseph and Aaron, and I remember for very stupid reasons. This guy is so off within like the first 10 minutes of the meeting that any rational person would just
Mm-hmm.
leave. And he doesn't, and he hangs around, and he actually goes home and lives his happy little life and then comes back to be murdered. And that is the whole fucking movie. Okay, done. There's nothing I hate more than a cringy 4chan fucking B, green text rant, and that is the entire script. I think the reason this is popular is because nobody who has watched this movie was a film major, and I don't mean this in a kind of way. I mean
Yeah.
this in you've never seen a film bros final movie project, because this is every film bros final movie project where it's two characters, they're men because only men are important, and they're going to monologue the whole time about stuff that's pseudo deep, and then nothing is really going to happen at the end. Like it's this like it's a societal commentary, but actually it's just me on screen. And that is exactly this is it is. And whether it was like a martial arts epic or a horror movie or set in an office building or whatever kind of genre it is, this is every film bros final film project. And
Yeah.
so I just can't believe that anyone thought this was clever. Who the fuck thinks this is clever?
Well, we know who makes these best of horror you should watch lists. Like they're usually white cis het film bros. Like that's who's making these lists. Are Joseph and Aaron. That's who's making these lists.
I So the whole reason that we actually broke down and watched this, although this is not Cherry's fault, because eventually we were going to watch this, it's on too many lists.
Yeah.
Um, was that you saw a TikTok. What scene did you see in the TikTok? I was so curious.
So I wish I meant to look up this TikToker's handle. I don't know. She's recommended me some great movies. I trusted her. She let me down.
It's almost kind of insulting because it's like, how could Aaron ever think that this is a normal human being who's just there's one point, this is super, super late. This is after he has done all of the craziest shit except the murder. Everything up to the murder.
Right.
He has broken into this man's house. He has harassed him, chased him around, threatened him, talked crazy rape fantasies with him, done just absolutely everything short of murder. Okay. And he is playing the tape that this man has sent him of a crazy rant, right? And he stops it and pauses it and goes, he looks so sad. And I was like, fucking, you know what? Just you don't deserve to even be alive at this point. Like, you should have died having made this a short 30-minute YouTube film. Like, what in the fuck? And part of it is that, like, no woman, and that's why, like, let me tell you something. There's a sequel, Creep 2, and it's even higher rated than the first one,
Oh
actually.
God.
And you would have to Clockwork Orange strap me into a chair with the eyeball thingies to make me watch it, because it's another two-person movie, but in this time it's the main guy and a woman. And let me tell you something, no woman with the slightest sense of self-preservation would have spent 5 minutes alone in the room with him. They would go to the bathroom and ran, just booked it, absolutely fucking booked it. Like, there's absolutely the fact that Aaron sits through this whole, like, I dressed up in this werewolf costume and raped my wife monologue and is like, this guy's a good guy. He just needs a buddy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I was just desperately waiting for something to happen in this movie, like anything. I was like, please, God, where is the real horror? It was just like, I think I would have driven away right at the beginning when this man watches me go up to his front door, ring the doorbell, knock on the door, go back to my car, and then he suddenly appears.
Maybe the fifth jump scare would have gotten me to leave. The fifth one, maybe one. Actually, I'm gonna tell, like, I put myself in the shoes of the very poor film bro. I got nothing in my name except money. I'm taller than this guy. I can take him. He's not gonna molest me, so I don't care if he's a rapist. Like, I'm putting myself just in the worst headspace for this. And I still make it to the diner. And then he starts showing pictures that he took of me driving up, and it's like, oh, does that creep you out? Do you like it? Are you into it? And I would be like, oh, check, please. Hey, waitress, can you call the cops? I'll tell you, it really felt like this guy is like the wrong kind of kinkster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I felt like, and I don't mean the character, I mean the guy, the director, actor, because, you know, the creep guy is the actor, he's the director, he's the everything, right? Mm-hmm. I really feel like this guy has some, like, latent kinks that he is not expressing in the kink community approved way, which consent, because I felt like a lot of the stuff, like, particularly when he's in the werewolf mask and he is standing in front of the door to block Aaron and he starts, like, butt humping the door. And I was like, this guy is getting off on this and making us watch it as part of his horror movie. That was like a weird sex thing, but not in a Joseph thinks it's a weird sex thing. It's like, no, this guy who shot this movie is into this, and he is making us watch it because to make us sexually uncomfortable is his kink. And I really hate that shit. This seems like the wrong kind of white man making horror movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch you pretend to give an invisible baby a bet. Like, no, I'm out. I'm good. And it was still daylight. Please, I would never have walking through the woods to find some water feature that he doesn't even know if he can find. Not doing that. Why are we in the woods? What are we doing?
Like, when he talks, yeah, I said Aaron deserves death when he lets the guy talk him into wading into sewer water. Like, that's instant death.